On March 8, 2014, Malaysian Airlines flight MH370 captured the attention of the world. The flight, which carried 239 passengers, was scheduled to fly from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia to Beijing, China, but it never made it to its final destination. Instead, it vanished. 5 years later, the mystery remains unsolved. But as reported by Reuters, Malaysia's transport minister said Sunday that Malaysia will consider reopening the search for the missing flight. In a July cover story for The Atlantic, new developments are also offered. While a report by a 19-member team released last July found no signs of abnormal behavior from the two pilots, an aviation specialist interviewed by The Atlantic contests this claim. In the article, he said that Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah had, quote, indications of trouble. Sources close to Zahari believe he was lonely and sad, spending time pacing empty rooms, thinking about his wife who had recently moved out, and obsessing over internet models. Though physical searches for the missing plane may be reopening, the aviation specialist noted that the crucial pieces of the puzzle may be in the hands of the Malaysian authorities.
So when they say internet models, like models on the internet, like women?
Models. Yeah, he was like basically on internet forums trying to talk to like cam models. It was, yeah.
And so you read the piece and I didn't because I got into it and then I was like, okay, I've got other things to do.
It's very troubling.
But I mean, I was at MSNBC when this was all going on. We covered it absolutely obsessively and people really wanted, and you could never quite put the pieces together. But what do they imply here in this piece?
The crux of the piece is that there probably is no other option than the fact that the pilot, Zahari, committed suicide or a murder-suicide, in that the theory is that he depressurized the cabin, killing everybody on board, then flew for about 6 to 7 hours before crashing the plane deliberately into the Indian Ocean. That a lot of the radar is what indicates that. And as he correctly says, it's not unprecedented. Germanwings flight in 2015, the year after an MH370, the co-pilot, locked the pilot outside of the cockpit and crashed the plane into the Alps, into the French Alps, killing himself and everybody on board. And he had actually studied MH370 as a case study prior to his suicide.
And then the Malaysian authorities screwed up here as well, right?
So one of the big parts of the piece is that the Malaysian authorities hid so much relevant data and so much information from the U.S., from the Australian government.
Because this is basically embarrassing.
Yes, it's very embarrassing for them. They messed up so badly. And because of that, they messed up the time frame in which we might have been able to find the plane. They had people looking in the South China Sea instead of in the Indian Ocean, where most people already knew that it happened. But based on satellite data, that's one of the more compelling pieces of evidence. But again, until we find until we find that wreckage, we're not going to know.
Don't know for sure. So I have a question, Sagar. What is time, really?
It's a flat circle, I'm told.
You know, every day the sun rises and sets, but why do we break up that time into hours, minutes, and even seconds? Those are questions which are being asked by Shell Overvedding, something like that, who has petitioned his local government in the Arctic town of Samaray, Norway, to rid the island town of the concept of time. Why? Well, he reportedly wants people to be more spontaneous. It also helps that Samaray sits on a Norwegian island in the Arctic Circle where the sun doesn't set for 69 days from May through July. Islanders on Samaray are used to operating without a clock, so much so that when visitors cross the bridge onto the island, they're greeted by dozens of watches signaling their entry into a land that has forgotten time. In a statement, Vedding cited the never-ending summer days as a major factor in his push to get the government to be more flexible with time. He said, quote, "In the middle of the night, which city folk might call 2 a.m., you can spot children playing soccer, people painting their houses or mowing their lawns, and teens going for a swim." I kind of want to go to this place. I mean, it's like fascinating to think of.
It looks nice, but what they also don't tell you is that in January there's also 69 days of pure black.
Of black, right, so, where the sun never rises.
I'm not taking that trade-off.
Yeah, I think I'll go in the summer, to visit. But, you know, I think humans are pretty evolved to have this whole 24-hour time concept. It would be a tough thing to, like, totally get rid of.
It only works on the extremes, but yeah, more power to you, man.
There you go.
I support you.
Tomorrow on Rising, advances in AI and video technology make us know that you can't always believe what you see. Now, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke is advocating for accountability. We're going to learn what she's up to.
And Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director Mark Morgan sits down with me. We'll discuss the southern border crisis and all the latest immigration news.
Have a fabulous day, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.